Welcome to Franklin Almanac. I'm Polikseni Manxhari. This is our lucky number 7 edition of Almanac, a compendium of life in Franklin. As always, we'll bring you important stories. What's happened? What's happening? What matters? When was the last time someone went above and beyond just for you? It's not every day that we were able to find people who put us before themselves. On this episode, we honor those who volunteer their time for the greater good. We will show you what happens when great people come together for great causes. The American Heart Association says that child obesity rates in kids ages 6 to 19 have risen by almost 20% in the last 10 years. With most Americans always on the run and junk food within reach, this issue doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. But the Hockomock YMCA has a plan. The YMCA held their annual Healthy Kids Day at Patriot Place on May 13th. This free community event brought together over 1,800 people and encouraged kids to be healthy. They provided families with options and methods for living healthier lifestyles while still having fun. Kids up to age 14 were able to enjoy fun exercises and learn about nutrition and healthy eating. With Patriot Place being their host location and sponsor for the past 5 years, guests were also able to meet New England Patriot Nate Solder. Here's a look at the big day.
So we are hoping that kids can kind of start off their summer in a healthy mindset. We have close to 40 community partners and vendors here, so we want to kind of let families know that there's a ton of organizations and businesses out in the community that are dedicated to helping them get healthy. We also just want kids to just come and have fun. So we have a ton of just free play activities and resources for families to, again, just think about being healthy and learn that playing outside is fun and hopefully get ready for the summer.
Now, there are some statistics that say that childhood obesity has doubled in the past 20 years. Do you think that has to do with electronics and not being outside as much?
I do. I think, here we focus on physical activity and also healthy eating. So I think those go hand in hand. And Healthy Kids Day is part of our WISE Healthy Futures initiative, which is our efforts with community partners to combat that youth obesity epidemic and improve physical activity and nutrition. So I think if you notice, everything here is kind of that free play and not so structured, and I think that's important for kids now, is to maybe get away from so much structure and kind of just be a kid.
Our goal of having this event is really to raise public awareness and visibility and create an opportunity for families to come together in a really fun environment. We want health and wellness and healthy lifestyles to be a fun thing for the entire family, and it's not just about making healthy food choices or healthy movement choices and increasing activity, but it's really about dental health, skin screenings, preventing chronic diseases, and you're going to see all of that here today.
So give us some tips for families as well as kids on how to stay healthy and active, especially now in the summer as well as the fall when people kind of tend to stay indoors more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a mom of 2 young children myself, something that we really try to do is to engage the kids in healthy eating. And you're going to see today our nutritionist, one of our nutritionists from the Foxborough branches here, and she's going to be providing families with tips to engage kids in hands-on food prep and cooking and really teaching them about trying new foods and making it fun. That's what it's really about.
Our YMCA, we're focused on families. It's all about kids and families, all of our programming. So we've been involved in a great program, our Healthy Futures program, trying to raise awareness with our community partners around youth obesity and helping kids and families make healthier choices. And this is a great day to bring everybody together for a free event at an amazing setting, and thanks to our friends at Gillette Stadium and Patriot Place to making this available to us again. All of our community partners are here with all kinds of information and fun, and you can see a lot of the activities here try to get the kids moving, get them active, and that's what we're trying to encourage every day, not just on Healthy Kids Day, but it's a great community event and something we're really proud of.
How does an event like this impact the community, Franklin and the surrounding towns?
I think it impacts, the impact that this has on the community is, again, around awareness and giving, again, the opportunity to learn more. But the other thing is just a free activity where families can come, again, in the shadows of Gillette Stadium, and the kids are, and they're in awe looking here. I mean, I came with my grandson this morning. He's almost 3 years old, and he was all excited about coming to the football stadium. So it's not only, a fun day, but it's a fun day at an amazing venue.
I think the kids just need to be more active. I think they need to be outside, having fun, doing things that kids do. And it's sad if there is an issue in this country with kids that are overweight and those sort of things. And I think that we just need more fun.
Author Felicity Lucky has said that it's easier to prepare healthy meals than to treat childhood obesity. Some tips on helping kids eat better are to make their favorite foods healthier, remove calorie-rich temptations, and encourage more outdoor activities, because a healthier lifestyle is a happier one as well. Lots of April showers sure did bring May flowers as Franklin prepared for their annual Beautification Day. The event is a result of a full year of planning, growing, maintaining, and improving the summer and winter displays. Numerous volunteers, including town officials and teens, came out to help beautify Franklin. This year's theme of red, white, and blue really helped make the town common and downtown stand out. The goal of the day was to get the community involved in helping to give Franklin a fresh and welcoming look. We caught up with Chairperson Eileen Mason and volunteers who came out to do just that. Let's have a look. How did Beautification Day get started?
It started with the Franklin Downtown Partnership about 16 years ago. You notice that we now have two-way streets, everything. I was part of that group involved in that whole project, and one of the things they called me about, because I was in the garden club at the time, was can we do something for plantings downtown? And so at the time we said, okay, let's do something simple like whiskey barrels and put petunias in them and let them cascade all over the place. And that took off. We planted the gardens that used to be on the islands, and then we also did a lot of businesses. We got them to buy barrels and sponsor the bridges.
Right.
So that's where it all took off, and we've been going strong ever since.
Awesome. So I know that this year you have a red, white, and blue theme. What inspired that theme?
The color of the plant choices. It's because it's hard to find something to plant in an open area like this is that gets a huge amount of traffic, wind, and heavy weather all the time. It's not protected. So we needed to pick plants that are sturdy, that can hold up to really bad winds, a lot of bad weather going on, as well as blazing heat from the sun.
Okay.
So you are limited as far as what your plant choices are to do these kind of plantings. But once they start getting watered and they'll fill in within the first 2 weeks, all of a sudden the color will flow and it'll look great, as long as they get water. So that's the key, is keeping them watered all summer.
So what sparked your interest in getting involved in volunteering for Beautification Day?
Well, first of all, I'm pretty much volunteer for lots of different things in towns, and I am one of those people who feels that Eileen Mason gives so much of her time that I wanted to be here to help her. I've come pretty much every year, off and on, not as much in past years as I have this year because I just had more time this particular Saturday. You know, when you're driving through town in the summertime and you see the beautiful plants, it makes you realize that what you do on this day is really important. And so many people come up to you during the year, and I think Eileen would agree that they'll say to her, wow, the downtown looks really beautiful. So it's nice to know that people appreciate it, and hopefully other people will see it and want to become involved as well. We're blessed in that we have a lot of high school students that come, and obviously some moms are here today with their kids to help as well. So it's just what the community is about. You know, you want to make it look nice.
So what do you think Beautification Day does for the Franklin community?
So I think the Beautification Day makes people realize that our downtown is more than just driving through. It's about what it looks like, how it's presented to people, whether you're from the town or you're just passing through. It is a way to just make it look beautiful and be more than just a group of buildings and a road that goes through it. So it's really just about community, kind of what you do in your own home, you know. You decorate your own home, we're decorating the downtown.
There's sometimes it's surprising, we get people from the community that read about the event and they come down and help us, so it's a really nice opportunity for everybody to get together and help.
It's so pretty, especially when people walk their dogs through the park. We've had so many people stop us and tell us how beautiful it looks, and that's such a feel-good feeling when people do that.
We have all the members, they 2 at a time each week come, do all the watering, the deadheading, and keep it going until the end of September.
We plant all these flowers. If you see, they're all laid out. We'll plant them all. We mulch it. It's all just beautiful.
Franklin residents and those just passing by can now enjoy a refreshed and beautifully decorated Franklin. Make sure to stop and thank those who offered a helping hand during the process. As of 2014, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released new data on the prevalence of autism in the United States. The study shows that 1 in 68 children, that's 1 in 42 boys and 1 in 189 girls, have autism spectrum disorder. With numbers this high, Horace Mann Educational Associates is determined to do something about it. HMEA, located right here in Franklin, provides innovative services in schools, at work, at home, and in the community, while serving nearly 3,800 children and adults with developmental disabilities. In order to raise funds, they held their 16th annual Incredible Day 5K at Dell EMC to benefit children and adults with autism and special needs. The event brought together 250 runners, 1,500 walkers, and over 200 volunteers. Attendees enjoyed live music, kids fun, and a special guest appearance from Fox 25 news anchor Jean Levanchi. We caught up with organizers and staff to hear all about the big day.
So how do you think an event like this raises awareness for special needs and autism in the community?
So this is 16 years that we've been doing this, and the greatest thing about this is it's not just the Franklin, Bellingham, Medway, Attleboro, all those towns. It's not just them that come here, but it's also our individuals with disabilities, such as autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, and you can see they're all around here. And it's the mingling of them that get together. When they go for the run, they're running right next to each other. When they go for the walk, they're walking next to each other. So it really raises the awareness on both sides, to people understanding what each other's needs are, strengths, weaknesses, the whole 9 yards. So it's a huge event for us, and things like this, like you're doing for us right now, really helps out awareness too. So I thank Franklin TV an awful lot too. So,
can you tell us what kind of resources that HMEA provides?
Sure. We provide supports and services to 4,000 children and adults with Down syndrome, autism, mostly autism, cerebral palsy, intellectual disabilities, and other developmental disabilities. And those supports include occupational therapy, physical therapy, might be nursing care, vocational services, other sorts of volunteer services in the community too. So it's a whole range of services depending on the individual's need. Like my needs might be completely different than your needs, and that's what ends up happening. They will directly provide you supports that are based on your needs to help you reach your highest level of independence.
11 years ago, Doug McPherson reached out to our running group and said, you know, we have this great fundraiser, but we don't know a whole lot about running a road race, and we're just looking for somebody who might have some expertise. And so I came in, and our running group took over the running of the race, and HMEA does the rest.
So how do you think an event like this raises awareness for special needs and autism?
Well, I think it's great because it brings the Franklin community out, and they do so much here to bring lots of people to the event who might not have heard of HMEA, and HMEA does so much here locally. So it's not necessarily a national organization or something that you don't see. They're helping people who are in our community.
Any opportunity, even just to hear HMEA, people get a little bit curious, they want to learn more, and then they find out more, then they learn what a great operation it is, and then they tell everybody else. So it kind of works that way. Any type of awareness where people just know about the organization and understand what those letters are, or even just say them or tell them to friends, anything along those lines helps spread the word and helps people dig a little bit deeper and get to understand what these guys are doing and what they're all about.
Why do you think it's an important topic for people to talk about?
Well, because I think, you know, people are becoming more and more aware of autism these days, and with budgets and things of that nature, it's hard to fund operations like this and what they're doing. So it's important for people to understand the services they provide, who they're helping, how many people they're helping, and what they're doing. And I think when you hear more about autism and more families are getting affected, it's not something that people aren't talking about anymore. I know when I was younger and I was growing up, it was something that was kind of, as I said before, they kept at arm's length and you wouldn't hear much about it. Now, autism is such a big part of what's going on in society, and so many families are dealing with it, that it's touching every segment of society in ways that we weren't used to when I was growing up anyway. Fire!
HMEA is proud to have raised $181,000, resulting in yet another successful community event. If you are interested in learning more about HMEA and how they can help your family, or you just want to give back, please visit hmea.org for details. Backyard barbecues, parades, and fireworks are just some of the festivities people all over the country enjoy on Independence Day. While every celebration is impeccable, Franklin's 4th of July is special in the hearts of its residents. After the last volunteers retired their titles earlier this year, it appeared that the Independence Day celebration may not take place. But as of recently, 4th of July has been rescued, thanks to its new volunteers, Paul Kortik and Joseph Carmignani. I sat down with half of this dynamic duo to learn more about what this year's event has in store. Let's have a look. So Joe, I just want to take some time to thank you for coming in today and talking about a very exciting celebration in town, the Franklin 4th of July. So I know it's always been a really big deal. People, all over the community come out and look at all the festivities. So I wanted to ask you, why did you decide that you wanted to get involved and volunteer for this year's 4th of July, since I know that it almost didn't happen? So right. Because of you and Paul, it will happen. So why did you decide you wanted to volunteer?
Yeah, it's interesting. I read the paper and saw the article about the 4th of July maybe coming to a close. Right. And I grew up in Franklin, lived here my whole life. So I thought it was an opportunity for me to give back to the town. Actually, Paul read the same article. Okay. And we're friends through our daughters. Oh, good. So, we kind of talked about it and said, this is something we can do to give back. And I think it'll be a great event. And Mike Kelly and Warren Ravel, who've been running the event the last couple of years, right. Along with John Yoder, they've all done a great job and have given us a lot of guidance in helping us plan for this year's event.
Good. Are you feeling overwhelmed yet?
A little bit. A little bit of pressure. But Paul and I have got good help and good guidance there. So.
Good. Wonderful. So this year, the 4th of July falls on a Tuesday, but correct. The activities are already beginning on the previous Thursday. So what can families expect when they come out for this year's event?
Yeah, so the carnival, actually, the Fiesta shows will show up with their rides probably in the middle of the week there. Okay. And we'll start actually having the rides available on Thursday night. The food vendors that are there are all nonprofit organizations in Franklin.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so the Rod and Gun Club, the Knights of Columbus, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. So they have an opportunity, if they want, to open their food booth on Thursday night. Most of them will probably open up on Friday night. Right. So there'll be carnival rides available, Thursday night, Friday night, most of the day Saturday. Okay. So it begins around the evening hours on Thursday and Friday. Correct. Okay. Yeah, most days will open at 6 o'clock. The only exception that's Saturday. It'll start at, I believe, 11 o'clock. Okay. And for the weekend and, Monday and Tuesday, will that be an all-day thing from there, or will it just be evenings? Yes, so Saturday will be 11. Sunday, I think we're actually going to start at 6 o'clock. Okay. 1 o'clock. Oh, okay. 1 o'clock on Sunday. Sure. Monday will be 6 o'clock. Okay. And then the 4th of July actually will start at noon, and we'll probably close around 5 o'clock or so. Wonderful. Yeah. So what other things can we expect other than, the food booths? And I know there's going to be some live entertainment. Is there anything special you have up your sleeve? Saturday historically is a children's day. Okay. So there'll be a lot of activities for kids. We've had a clown in the past, so we'll have a clown activity. There's a group called Vic and Stick, so they're going to be there entertaining kids. Those of you that are familiar with Jamie Barrett, who's a music teacher in Franklin at the Jefferson School, he'll be performing. I noticed, yeah. Yeah, he'll be there Saturday afternoon. Good. And then we have a lot of bands that are scheduled as well. Every day we'll have a band, and there's some local bands there. As well as some people that have had a lot of experience traveling around the world playing in bands as well. Right. I was actually going to ask you about that. So, I took a look at the schedule and I noticed that there's bands from Franklin and surrounding towns all over the country, and even some that formed outside of the country. So that diversity in bands, what does that bring to Franklin? Yeah, that's great. It gives people an opportunity to see a lot of different musical styles. Matt Zajak's been very instrumental in helping us put together the lineup for the bands. He grew up in Franklin. He went to Berkeley. He's traveled around the world there, and he's a great musician. So, we have other local bands. Victory Shot Eric Polito, who's a Franklin resident, is in that
Good.
band. So really, there'll be a lot of great entertainment for people that want to come out and hear good live music. On Thursday night from 6 to 10, and then Saturday from 12 to 5, and then on Monday again from, I believe, 6 to 10. We're going to have wristbands. So the Fiesta shows will allow people to pay $25 to ride unlimited rides.
Oh, great.
Outside of those dates and times, there'll be normal tickets that you'll have to purchase. So it'll be a great way for people to go on as many rides as they want for an affordable price.
That's so great, even for the kids too.
That's
Because
right.
the families come out with all their kids, and everyone wants to go on the rides, right?
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about, the connection with you and Paul and how you both got involved with this.
Both he and I have worked on this together, and I know both of us travel for business quite a bit too.
Sure.
But Paul has put in a lot of attention. We have to contact the organizations that handle like the tables and tents
Sure.
and
All the small things, yeah.
The gas, making sure the gas is hooked up, the electricity,
Right.
all the little details. So
Yeah.
Paul's been instrumental in helping coordinate a lot of the logistics.
Well, I'm sure since this is your first time, volunteering for the event, it's going to be different from many of the other years. So how will this year differ from the rest?
Well, this year we're actually kind of following the same blueprint because, again, Mike Kelly and Warren Ravel, who've run this in years past, really gave us a great place to start with. And we're hoping that this kind of builds on subsequent years as Paul and I have more time and are able to raise more money to help really make the event successful. This is really a non-profit organization that runs this event. So we're hoping to really have a lot more exciting things to come in the future.
Good, wonderful. So with this being your first time, for you and Paul, coming together to make this happen for the community, what are you hoping to accomplish on your first try?
We just want people to have fun. That's really, 4th of July, I don't remember as a kid,
Right.
Going to fireworks displays, and we haven't had fireworks in town since 2011. So we're hoping to build that into this year's plans, and if we can get it all to come together, if not, certainly in the future.
Sure. That'd be
we
awesome.
hope will be a staple of this going forward. Again,
Right.
bringing fireworks back to Franklin.
Right. I mean, you
So-
can't have 4th of July without fireworks,
That's
right?
right. That's right. That's right.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing all the events that come out for the 4th. And we want to thank you and Paul, of course, for taking the time to do this for the community, since it is such a big deal for all the residents. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you. And we look forward to everything that you accomplish.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Celebrate America's birthday by stopping by Franklin's 4th of July festivities. You'll enjoy food booths, family entertainment, and live music. You won't want to miss it. The loss of any young life is tragic, but when Franklin suffered the tragedy of losing one of their own, it echoed throughout the community. On Sunday, May 14th, Michael Doherty was reported missing by his parents after he failed to come home from a party the previous night. A town-wide search instantly began. Law enforcement, concerned family, friends, and volunteers came out to help. After a long and painful 7-day search, the 20-year-old's body was discovered just 1 mile from his home. A shock to the entire community. After attending Michael's wake, I was blown away by the hundreds of people who came out in his honor. Although I've never met Michael, I could tell by the outpouring of support for his family how special he was to Franklin. A beautiful moment was shared at the Franklin High School graduation as students and residents honored the Dohertys.
But if there are lessons to be learned from events such as the disappearance and death of a Franklin resident, Michael Doherty, I am afraid I am at a loss to explain or understand them. Our hearts go out to the Doherty family. Words cannot express our collective sadness and our grief as a community. I will thank you, class, for coming together and for showing your support for Michael and for his brother Kevin.
Kevin James Doherty.
On behalf of all of us here at Franklin TV, we express our deepest condolences to the Doherty family, and may Michael rest in peace. We've all heard the words, things like this don't happen here. But the grim reality is there will always be events in life that change our lives forever. What matters most is that through it all, we still choose to see the world as a place filled with love and kindness, and people who are willing to show that each and every day. It's up to us to be that glimmer of hope in the world. In a time of tragedy, there are 3 choices in life. Let it define you, let it destroy you, or let it strengthen you. People around the world always choose the latter. Civilians come together to support and care for each other when times get tough, because that's what good people do. Hate will try to break us, to challenge our faith, and put our morals to the test. But it is in times of sorrow when we must remain our strongest. Here in Franklin and around the world, love is and will always be greater than hate. This wraps up our 7th edition of Franklin Almanac. As we continue to bring you more stories, feel free to email us at almanac@franklin.tv and let us know what you'd like to see. It could be part of our next episode. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. For Franklin Almanac, I'm Polikseni Manxhari.